As the President, I would formally like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the past and present of the land on which we meet. I would also like to acknowledge our Leader of the Parliamentary Labor Party, Anastasia Palaszczuk, Deputy Leader Tim Mulheron, Members of Parliament and candidates, the State Secretary Anthony Chisholm and Assistant State Secretary Evan Moorhead. Conference delegates, welcome one and all, but in particular, this conference is rather special because we have a significant number of new delegates, and to all of those first-time delegates, I extend a very special welcome to you. For those of you who are attending for your second or more times, welcome back, and try not to give me such a hard time. I'm also told that it's Wendy Hodgson's birthday today. Wendy, so happy birthday, and a special welcome to you. I'm very proud to say that the Queensland Labor Party we are members of today is very different to the one that existed 2 years ago. We have listened and we are well on the road to rebuilding the trust with Queenslanders that we lost. We were decimated almost 3 years ago, but today our party continues to grow, reform and change for the better. It has an energy and a momentum that has gathered pace consistent with our rise in the polls. Queenslanders see that both the party and the parliamentary team are growing, reforming and performing. This means they know Labor is a credible alternative to the arrogant Newman government. Without getting too carried away though, Queensland Labor is now in a position that even the most optimistic of us would not have dreamed possible just 2 short years ago. There are many encouraging signs which should give us all the motivation and drive to continue what we've been doing and do it even better. You only need to look at the recent by-election results for proof. At the last conference we had the magnificent 7 in Parliament. Today we have 9, and I must pause to make special mention of the member for Redcliffe, Yvette Darth, and the member for Stafford, Anthony Lynham. In Redcliffe, Yvette set a high standard when she commanded a fantastic swing of 17%. Although I think it was 17.2 in the end. 17.2, sorry. This swing was arrogantly passed off by Campbell Newman and the Tory press as being an apparition due to the dodgy dealings of the Driscoll family. Yet just a few months later, Anthony took the swing even further and took in excess of 19% off the government. Despite a dirty campaign of lies and misinformation by a cashed-up LNP. Suddenly, Labor is genuinely back in the game, and even our most vicious detractors are starting to change their tune. Of course, Anthony and Yvette could not have achieved these results by themselves. To all of you who helped on those campaigns, the local rank and file members and their campaign teams, the volunteers from all over who kept on lining up to help, the parliamentary members, the unions and their members, the activists from the ranks of the doctors, lawyers and other professions who turned out in great numbers week after week, and to all in the party office who worked tirelessly to help us secure these 2 great victories, thank you all so very much. The outstanding results in both these polls show Queensland is listening to the Labor Party and our message is cutting through. But, and it's a very big but, much, much more must be done to convert a front-page story about an out-of-touch LNP government polling badly into a front-page story about Queensland Labor achieving what many say is the unachievable. That is, winning the next general election. To be clear, I believe it is possible that we can win in 2015 and ensure Campbell Newman is a one-term wonder. But to secure that history-making victory, we must fight the fight of our lives. We need to boost our primary vote to at least 40%, and on all the latest polling, we're still up to 5% sure of that magic number. I believe it is possible that despite the obstacles we face, we can create history for a number of reasons. It's possible because of the incredibly hard work being done day in, day out by our 9 parliamentary members, led so ably and with such dignity by Anastasia Palaszczuk. It's possible because since the disaster of 2012, the administrative wing of the party has worked tirelessly to repair the relationship with the trade unions and to fix the party's finances. It's plainly obvious that all of that hard work is now starting to pay dividends. It's possible because the rank and file membership of the party has grown and continues to grow at such extraordinary rates that it's far more empowered today than ever before. It's possible because you, the delegates to this conference, will provide the policies that are needed to clearly demonstrate the vast divide between what we in this great party stand for and what those pretenders in the LNP have done to Queensland over the past 2.5 years. And it's definitely possible because the people of Queensland are sick and tired of a morally corrupt and a politically bankrupt government. It's for those reasons that I dare to say the so-called impossible task set for us back in 2012 might just be achievable after all. Well, I turn to a few other matters. Last year, I spoke about the need to reform the party's office. Since that time, much has been achieved. 3 additional organisers, one of whom is currently based in Cairns, with other regional centres soon to be included. Additional staff overseeing policy administration, additional staff to monitor important data, and a new call centre with additional staff allocated specifically to it. Our finances are looking up from what was a very dire position. The administration budget is balanced and a special fundraising committee of respected, experienced and professional fundraisers is working on stocking the war chest. But it's in the area of membership that I'm the most proudest. We have gone from about 5,000 members in March 2012 to almost 9,000 in just 2.5 years. That represents growth in excess of 65%, and at this stage in the electoral cycle, that growth continues unabated. These additional hearts and minds will make our great party even better and more responsive to the cumulative good we strive for. To all of those new members, I ask you to be active, be heard and embrace the Labor Party for what it is. A party steeped in the traditions of the fair go and firmly based in the principles of democratic socialism. Reforms discussed at the 2013 conference and subsequently carried by the vast majority of delegates have for the first time put major decision-making in the hands of the many where it rightfully belongs. No longer will decisions about party executives, Senate candidates and leaders be down to a few members looking after their own self-interests. It will be for all to have a say. However, reform cannot stop, because for that to happen, the party would stagnate and quickly fall back into the bad old ways. We need to continue the reform process. However, I believe the next stage of reform should be more about what we do and how we do things. Like focusing on membership, making it easier to join and to renew, and above all else, making it easier for new members to get involved in the activities that they are most passionate about and underpin their reasons for joining in the first place. Setting up workplace branches, reducing membership fees even further, and encouraging different ways to be involved, like recognising policy advocacy such as Labour for Refugees or Lean as a way to organise. Throughout all of this reform, though, we cannot lose sight of our vision and our roots. The Abbott government has launched a shameful attack on the Australian unions, wasting millions on a royal commission. At the same time, they are cutting allowances and other benefits to those who most need it much, such as pensioners. Unions are not our enemy. They are our history. And if a union hadn't met under the Tree of Knowledge all those years ago in Barcaldine, we would not be here today in this room developing policy that will hopefully return us to government next year. We are most credible and powerful when we work as one. That is, the unions, the parliamentarians and the rank and file membership all acting together in common cause. You only need to look at 2007 Your Rights at Work campaign for the proof. Union members were hurting and they recognised Labor as the party that looked after their interests. And the same can be said today. Campbell Newman has picked fights with every worker in Queensland. Blue collar, white collar, professionals, the unskilled, the skilled, it doesn't matter. You name them, he's picked on them. Campbell Newman has sacked thousands upon thousands of workers and is putting public sector and government-owned corporation employees through hell and is hell-bent on selling public assets such as water and electricity. All those workers will now be asking who will stand up for them. It's our job to ensure that the answer is the Labor Party and their unions. Reforms that seek to weaken our relationship with the trade union movement will damage our party and alienate us from the people we seek to represent. So will reforms that weaken our philosophy of democratic socialism, such as that foreshadowed at the New South Wales conference. We are now and always should be a progressive party of the left. But we must remain But we must remain vigilant and guard against becoming moderate. As Henry Boots said in 1916, to be moderate is the one fatal sin a progressive movement can commit. Almost anything else it may be and preserve its efficiency, but one thing is forbidden, it must not be moderate. Those words are just as pertinent today as they were 98 years ago. We are a progressive party with a proud history and a great story to tell. And we have never had a better opportunity to spell out the vast differences between what we stand for and will do in government compared to what the LNP stands for and what they have done in government. We have been given a real chance after just one term to win back the electors of Queensland, and it is now up to all of us to ensure we make the most of it. Michael Clifford and his team have done a great job in developing the draft policies you have before you. But please remember what this conference is all about. It's your chance, the rank and file, to debate, seek changes to and ultimately determine what our policies for the next state election will be. I believe that the electors of Queensland are up for change. They are open to a genuine discussion about what the Queensland of the future should look like. The Queensland they want, the Queensland they so rightfully deserve. A fairer and more progressive Queensland. We should not miss that opportunity. We should rise to the occasion and have this conference deliver policies that will give us the best chance possible of consigning Newman and his despicable government to the pages of history. Delegates, I wish you well in your deliberations. Have a great conference. Enjoy yourselves, but always have a bit of fun on the way through. Thank you so much.